lovely stitchers, I am back again. As you can see, I'm wearing the same thing because this is going to be the second video that I'm filming today. I'm doing another Flosstube Extra. So if you didn't see the first one from today, that is me opening the Boffy Threads stitchy box, and it was beautiful, so nice. This video is all about how I make my needle minders. So I've had quite a few people message me, ask me how. Also my comments, you'll see people asking me how I make them. So basically I make, because I've got an obsession with needle minders, which you probably have guessed by now, not even guessed, you've seen from previous videos. I tend to make some of my pins, well, not pins, needle minders. They are pins that I turn into needle minders. It's something that I found online, and I thought it was a fantastic idea. I, probably like many other people, used to collect pins when I was younger, so I have loads, but they just sit in the jewellery box or they sit in a drawer. They're not doing anything, and I saw this video and I thought this is brilliant. So today I'm going to teach you how to do it. So this is one that I made recently for my mummy full coverage kit. It hasn't come up on the wheel yet, but this again was just made very simply. This was a pin, and I've turned it into, I've made it into a needle minder. And this was another one that I completed. I got this off from Vinted. It's got little cats on it, on a scratcher. Reminds me of my cats. And again, I've changed it from a pin into a magnetic needle minder. So I thought I'd show you how I do it so that you can do your own. I'm going to switch the camera around so that you can see how I make them. See you shortly. Okay, so welcome back. So I can do a little bit more of a close-up now. So that basically was a pin that I've changed into a magnet. It is so simple to do. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So these are two that I've recently bought. One is for a Beetlejuice themed pattern that I'm doing, which I'm sure you've seen. And this other one is for a Scooby-Doo, which I haven't started yet, but I will be. So I wanted to make some needle minders for those. So we're going to be making those today. As you can see, they're just general pins. I bought both of these off of eBay, and we're going to turn them into needle minders. One thing I will say before I get started is this was one that I bought, but it's actually a plastic one. And although it works, as you can see, I originally started with a smaller and it didn't work. So now I use the bigger magnets. But as you can see, the plastic isn't very good. It's not very strong and it's snapped. Although it still works, it's not as good as the enamel metal one. So if you are doing it, stick to metal. It's just more better and better for your needle minder. So what are we going to need? So you're going to need your pin, and you'll want to take off the back of your pin, so whatever you've got in the back to hold your pin. So we'll get rid of those. So these are basically exactly the same enamel pins. You'll also need one of these. So this I just got from Hobbycraft, and it just cuts into metal. Obviously this isn't like strong metal, but these are really good. They weren't too expensive either, and I will put the link for those below. You'll also need a file. So these files I picked up on Amazon. You get 3, although we don't need 3. They're different sort of shapes, but I tend to use the flatter one. So that's another thing. We'll need magnets. So these I picked up from Amazon. You can get a whole packet of those. I love these ones, and I'll put these down in the description box so you can see. I like the size of these, and they're very sturdy magnets. And then glue. So this glue, oops, try the right way round. This is brilliant and will stick your magnets to the back of your pins, making sure that they don't come off. It's very strong glue. So let's get started. So to start off with, you want to cut. Oh, so fiddly. You want to cut your pin off, just like that. So it's now, although be careful because it's quite sharp, that's completely gone. And then use your file just to file it down. This stops it from being so rough. You won't be able to put a magnet over that pin, so just be aware of that. But the reason that I sort of use this is just because it can be a little bit sharp. So this is just a good idea, just to flatten it and keep that not so sharp. Okay, so we're going to take all those bits, all those bits off like that. And then you'll want to open up your magnets, and amazingly, oh, there we go, I've done it. No. This is what I prepared earlier. Just talk among yourselves while I try to open this. It's because this is a new one. I've got some other ones there, but I bought some extra ones as well. There we go. Oh, and as you can see, they're super, super strong. So you'll just want 2 of those. Now, it's quite funny because the first time that I made them, I didn't realise, so I made quite a few. So I had 5 of these pins lined up, and I started to stick them on the back. And of course, I stuck them too close, and they all just went together, and it was a bit of a mess. So keep them separated if you're doing more than one. I'll do this one as well while we're here. So just cut that off, and we'll give it a quick that's better, just to stop that sharpness. That's it. Perfect. Right. So, as I said, keep them a little bit apart. Then using your glue now, you want to put it on a space that's completely flat. As I said, you won't be able to put it onto where you cut that off, unfortunately. But no one's going to see the back. So you just want to make sure it's clean on the flat bit. And obviously I'm running out of glue, so I need to get some more. But you want to put a smidge of glue, just like that, in the centre, and then pop your magnet on top. Just push it down a little bit, and then you'll need to leave this to dry. I'd say at least a day. I leave it overnight to dry to make sure it's completely dry, and just pop that to the side. And it's as simple as that, honestly. It's so simple, and it's so brilliant because all these pins that have just been in the drawer are now going to have a place. So again, just a smidge of glue, a magnet, and again, just pop it down, give it a little bit of a push. And there we go. And as I said, make sure that you dry them, give them a little bit of space because they are magnets and they'll just go into one big ball, and that's quite funny in a way, but frustrating when you're doing it and then you get glue everywhere and oh dear. Yeah, it's not great. So basically that is it. That is how to make your own pin. So simple. And then as I said, this is how it is. Once it's dried on, you can see a little bit of the glue there, but it's completely dried on. This had 2 hooks, 2 pins, sorry, on it. And as you can see, that's so strong and perfect, whoops, this way, perfect for your little projects. So if you do make them, please send me pictures, as I'd love to see them, the ones that you do. But they really are simple with such small things. You know, these, to be fair, you could probably try and cut it just normally with bits you've got at home. But I just thought I'd get these because obviously because I've got a thing about needle minding, so I make loads. And file wise, you know, you don't have to get a normal file for your nails would probably be sufficient. So yeah, but I'll link all the details of all my bits and pieces below. And hopefully you've enjoyed that video. I'm sorry that you can't see my face. Just looking at the board, just looking at the needle minder. And yeah, please do share your pins if you do make them, as I'd love to see them. But as I said, it is so simple. And if you've got them laying around, pins, don't know what to do with them, this is a fantastic idea. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.